if you're carrying around this mental load of your busy schedule all week, stop. It has to live somewhere else other than just in your mind. Jot down everything that you need to do, where you need to be, who it involves, and then don't think about it until the night before. This is what I do every single day. You have to schedule your life, and it can't just be in here, because a lot of times if it's only in here, if it only lives in your mind, it might not actually happen. Welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Scale podcast. I am your host, Mary Katherine, and today we're going to talk about our brain and all of the thoughts and everything that goes on in here and how sometimes it can just rule our life, it can rule our day. And this episode is a little bit kind of about stress and life's craziness and just how all of the stress we're under and the mental capacity that it takes to do these busy, crazy lives that we all live. So just the other day, as I'm driving my son to school on one of the last mornings of school as he was about to get out for summer break, I thought to myself how overwhelmed and just crazy my life is right now, or it was in that moment. However, that morning in particular, I was feeling pretty calm. I felt like I was in a really good spot in general. Today, I felt super, super zen. And it was like this weird aha moment that I had. Like, despite how crazy my work and home life felt, despite all the stress that I was under today in particular, I felt good. I felt like I was ready to just tackle whatever came my way. Have you ever felt like that? Like there's this literal storm, maybe even like a tornado roaming your house, like literally a tornado, like laundry piling up, dishes in the sink, your dog's barking, you haven't fed her, like people are ringing your doorbell, everyone's going crazy, screaming, they're hungry, you got to feed your kids. But then like the second you step outside, you're like, okay, I got this. I'm going to be okay. Or at least you think you do. So like many medical professionals will say it's not okay. You shouldn't block out all the stress and burnout. You should face it. You should deal with it. You should get to the root cause of it. But what if that's not possible? What if it's not possible to just focus on your stress levels right now? Focus on your zen. Focus on meditating. Because for me right now in my crazy life, that's not possible. And for many of you listening, it's probably not possible for you either. So I'm going to go against the grain today by sharing with you how I achieve everything I want in life and how I deal with stress and what has worked and what hasn't, because I do believe I have tapped into the 2.0 version of myself when it comes to dealing with stress as a mom and an entrepreneur. So let's go. Are you ready for this? As I'm driving my son to school, I thought of this analogy, this Zen moment that I had. I thought our brain is like a vault in a bank. My dad is a banker. I've probably been in more banks than most. Grew up going to a bank from a young age. And a vault, for any of you who do not know what a vault looks like, a vault is a small room depending on the size of the bank. Some vaults are very small, some are a little bit larger. And inside the vault is typically hundreds of small little boxes. And you have a key, and each person who has a safety deposit box, which is what these boxes are called, they owned the key to this box, and they can get their box out, and people can keep their valuables inside. It's a safe place where no one can access the contents except for the person who owns that box, who has the key. So it kind of sounds like your brain, right? You're the only person who can access your thoughts. Now imagine if there were no boxes in that vault and everyone's valuables and memorabilia and all the other items that they want to put in there is just thrown in there together and it's all mixed up. And then the more customers the bank had, the more crowded it got. And it was almost impossible to access your valuables when you needed them because you had to flood through everyone else's stuff to find them. So the safety deposit box makes sense, right? Stay with me. Your brain is the vault. Your thoughts around your home life, your kids, your work, your relationships, your body image, every thought you have. That list goes on and on. Well, those are your thoughts, and the tasks are your safety deposit boxes. When we're at work, most of us have to shut off what's going at home, or we try to. And we shut that box, we shut that safety deposit box, and we open up a new one, right? Sometimes it's hard. However, I have found this to be very necessary when trying to achieve any sort of goal or having any sort of shot at happiness when dealing with a stressful life. And if I had to guess, most of you who are listening to this are dealing with some sort of stressful life event right now. Most people are. Good stress or bad stress, we all have it. And we can let it rule our world if we let it. Another way to explain this, your brain is a vault filled with safety deposit boxes, is to say compartmentalizing your life. Those safety deposit boxes in your vault or compartments. So today what I want to do is I want to offer up 5 sets of strategies that I have come up with, 5 strategies to compartmentalize your brain and your life to maintain a positive mindset and to achieve all the goals that you have set for yourself. All right, so number 1, let's talk about some mental organization techniques. Women love lists, but men do too. Creating a to-do list for my husband after having our second child while also running multiple businesses together was the key to our happy marriage at the time when I was dealing with the emotional burnout and from being postpartum and everything else that was happening around me at that time. Lists help us organize our thoughts and put them out on paper so that we can remove them from our mind. I actually once worked for someone who would cringe every time he would see a sticky note on our desk because he said it promoted disorganized thoughts. While I understand why too many sticky notes could do this and that might overcrowd your desk and overwhelm you, sometimes just getting your thoughts out on paper and out of your mind can actually help open up more space or more safety deposit boxes to tap into that next level or that next thing that you need to accomplish. Whether you're journaling, making to-do lists, setting goals, or making grocery lists, you name it, get your thoughts around what needs to get done and what needs to be bought, whatever it is, get them on paper. If you're carrying around this mental load of your busy schedule all week, stop. It has to live somewhere else other than just in your mind. Use Google Calendars or any type of digital calendar that can help organize your day and your thoughts. Jot down everything that you need to do, where you need to be, who it involves, and then don't think about it until the night before. This is what I do every single day, most days. I mean, there have been, of course, like vacations and things like that where I don't do this, but if you have something coming up that will need some preparation, schedule that too. You have to schedule your life, and it can't just be in here, okay? Because a lot of times if it's only in here, if it only lives in your mind, it might not actually happen. So write it down, create the list, whether it's a paper list, a paper calendar, or a Google calendar. Get all of that out of your mind and onto paper. And then every night before you go to bed, or plan out some time during the day to set your next day, to figure out what you have going on for your next day, which leads me to my number 2 time management strategies. Time management is crucial when you are dealing with stress. Time blocking has worked wonders for me in 2 different situations, and I'll go through the 2. So time blocking involves having like a sheet of paper. Again, it could be a digital app that you use, or you can just do pen and paper, and it means that you block off every hour or every 30 minutes, list out from the time you wake up to the time that you go to sleep. And some people might say this is a little OCD, and you don't have to plan like this. But if you're busy like me, this helps me so much. You can block out your entire day for everything, such as when you're going to go to the gym, time to meditate, when you're working, when you're going to fold that load of laundry that's been in your laundry room for a week, whatever you're going to do, when you're going to organize your refrigerator, when you're going to take your dog for a walk, you can put that in a time block. Time blocking forces you to focus on the task at hand for that specific period of time and then move on to the next thing. If another example would be like exercise. Don't overdo it with the amount of time that you have allotted. Start small. Allow for 20 to 30 minutes. And that way it's easier to stick with. I have found that if I time block myself an hour or an hour and a half to work out, sometimes I can get kind of like lackadaisical with it. I'll say, all right, I'm going to time block 9 to 10:30 to do my workout. Well, at 9 o'clock, I'm like, I think I want to do those dishes first. So then I do the dishes, and then now it's 9:15. And then I start my workout. And as I'm starting my workout, I'm like, oh, actually, I think I need to stop now and go do something else. You're allowing yourself too much time for that task. So if that's happening to you, you need to shorten that time block for that task. Another example, like if you're writing a book or you're wanting to declutter your house, both tasks require a different set of skills and motivation. However, both may seem very overwhelming in the beginning. So again, just start with 30 minutes, set a timer, set that time, and at the end, you're done. You're going to move on to the next thing. When it goes off, we are going to close the door and we're going to move on to the next. Time blocking can be incredibly effective for getting things done when you feel like your to-do list is overwhelming. Just the other day, I heard from a friend about the Pomodoro technique, which is a time management method based on 25 minutes of focused work broken up by 5 minutes of breaks. And longer breaks, typically 15 to 30 minutes, are taken after you do 4 consecutive work intervals. And I thought this was a really great tactic, especially if you're someone that's working like at a desk job and you're time blocking your day. Say that you have to be at the office from 8 to 5. Well, we all know that you're not doing like 8 and 9 hours of straight up work and being super productive. Like that just doesn't happen. Our brain doesn't work that way. So by setting a timer for 25 minutes, allow yourself 5 minutes to move outside your computer, walk around the office or walk outside, get some fresh air, and then go back in for another 25 minutes. You're time blocking yourself and you're also rewarding yourself at the end. So it gives you something to look forward to. I think this is a beautiful practice, a great way to stay on task if you have hours and hours of work to do. Another situation when time blocking has really helped me is like the polar opposite of what I just talked about. It's when I actually don't have a lot going on. I am currently in a transition phase with my career as my work has changed a lot in the last year. And I used to be so busy running around from location to location with my Fit Body locations and dealing with people. So time blocking was crucial during that time. However, now I work from home and my kids are often home with me a lot, which is a very different day-to-day routine. I wouldn't call myself a stay-at-home mom. However, I am staying at home as a mom and I work part-time. I work like a part-time schedule. And when I first started this transition, I'm going to be honest, I woke up many days at the mercy of my children and I let them control my day. And I really didn't have a set schedule. And I knew I had to get my work done, but it would just get done when it got done. I didn't really have any kind of time blocking system. And I found at the end of these days, I felt very unaccomplished. Like I was asking myself, what did I even do today? I had many conversations with my mom friends about this, and it's like this feeling of feeling busy, but not accomplished. Like we're so busy being busy, but if someone asked us at the end of the day, what did you get done today? Or what did you spend your time doing? You're scratching your head saying, I don't know. I didn't get anything done. When in reality, you know that you did a ton of things. Like time blocking can help in this situation tremendously. With this one, this gives you something to work towards, even if it is just jotting down that you spent an hour at the library. You're doing 30 minutes of meal prep. You need to go buy stamps at the post office, or you want to spend 2 hours at the pool. Writing this down will help you at the end of the day feel so much more accomplished, no matter how trivial the task was. I recommend, again, doing this the night before and then tweaking it as your day goes on. But if you give this some time, I promise you that you are going to feel so much more productive. All right, my number 3, emotional regulation practices. Regulating or maintaining your emotional health is absolutely key when you're in a busy season of life. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings, which happens a lot when you are living in a high stress, busy season. In order to avoid doing this and regulate your emotions, you need to learn how to shut things out. You need to learn how to shut things off. For example, when you're at home with your kids, and you're continuously checking your social media and your emails, you have a chance of reading something that is going to affect you negatively. You're not going to have that positive mindset that you want when you're with your kids. You need to protect your peace and protect your energy, as some will say. The only way to fully commit and be present in the moment that you are in is to not allow yourself to think about these other things. So here's an example of this. You're a mom who works part-time or full-time. You're constantly trying to spend as much time with your children as you can while also completing your work. You may need to sacrifice more time with your kiddos in order to get your work done so that you can be fully present with your kids at home. You are not doing anyone a favor by saying that you can work and spend time with your kids when in reality, you're stressed out because you're trying to work around your children and you're not giving them your undivided attention. You're not being fully present with them. And then you feel guilty for not doing your work. And you also feel guilty for spending time with your kids, but not actually living in the moment. It's a catch-22. You can't win. So you have to figure out what needs to be done. This might mean that you have to spend more time working and less time with them, maybe just right now. And then when you are spending time with them, it's quality time. You're not letting your work affect your mental state, and you're actually being able to live fully present in the moment. All right, number 4 is physical health maintenance. Let's talk about my favorite one. This is my favorite safety deposit box in a vault, your physical health. You need to allow yourself to work on your fitness away from everyone else. It's not the playroom workout with your kids beside you or when you're walking with the stroller to the park. Those are all great ways to stay active and incorporate your kids into your healthy routine, but you need time alone that is dedicated to strength training and resistance training or tough cardio sessions. You need time away from everyone else in order to achieve this physical state that we all so bad want to be in. Maybe you're not able to join a gym right now, or maybe just doing a basement workout is all you have, or running at the local trail nearby. Whatever it is, I want you to try to allow yourself time to shut out the world and everyone else and just focus on your physical fitness during that time. Remove yourself from distractions. Allow yourself this time a few days a week. You will see greater results and stay more consistent with a workout program that you actually stick with that has some sort of programming in which you have progressions and ways to get better and stronger over time as well. So don't just be willy-nilly with your workouts. When we're talking about physical health maintenance and that safety deposit box in our mind and with our body, you need to write it down. Figure out what your programming is going to be. If you're working out on your own, you're going to have to program it on your own. If you're working out at a gym like FitBody, you don't have to worry about it, which is why I love it so much. But whatever it is, figure it out, stick to it, be consistent, shut out everyone else, and do that alone. You need that, and you owe it to yourself. All right, my number 5 is our social environmental factors. This is the last category that we need to talk about in order to compartmentalize your life in a way that you could achieve anything you want during a busy season. And you need to control your social environment. You want to surround yourself with people that are positive, with people that are doing things that you want to do, or people that you want to aspire to be. But sometimes we can't do that. And I understand that happens, but usually you know how much time you're required to spend with that person and when it's time to walk away. And when you do physically walk away, allow your mind to walk away too. Don't let conversations that bothered you at the office or relationships that you don't want to continue to be in, to spill into other areas of your life that's going to affect your positive relationships, work habits, or your ambitions. Some friends are going to be work friends, and that's it. You're going to have family members who don't understand your ambitions. Spend time with them, but know when to walk away and when you need to focus on your job or focus on whatever it is without those distractions. Because we hear this all the time, you're the average of the people that you spend the most time with. So don't spend too much time with people who aren't going to help you get to where you want to be. So there you have it, friends. As a recap for you, we went through some mental organization techniques, some time management strategies, some emotional regulation practices, some physical health maintenance practices, and then our social and environmental factors that need to happen in order to better compartmentalize your life and your mind to foster a positive mindset and to enhance your ability to achieve all of your goals in life. And I hope that some of these resonated with you. I hope that you're able to take some of this and apply it to your own life. And, going back to the analogy of our brain is like a vault, and it's full of safety deposit boxes. You're going to get new boxes that open up every day, and you're going to have some that close, and they may close permanently. And that's just the way our mind works. But the quicker you can realize what things are affecting you emotionally and physically in a negative way, and how you can lock that box, put it in the back of your mind, and not access it again, the happier you are going to be, and the more you are going to be able to achieve in life. So thank you for joining me for another episode. As always, make sure you check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify, and share this episode with all of your friends. Until next time, you guys, thanks so much.